All right, welcome to another video from the chart readers. Today we are going to be looking at the weed sector. So we have a number of tickers, so I will just get going quickly. Again, what are we going to do? What we always do, right? We're going to look at the daily and the weekly to see what's setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. These horizontal support and resistance lines I do manually draw. And then we use the MACD and the RSI as our lower indicators when we're done on top. Again, 80% of the work is up here. This is that last 20% confirmation, right? So look, what's happened, right? This is actually pretty textbook right here. You come all the way to the 200, the very last moving average. It's definitely not an easy one to break. Doesn't quite hit it, and I mean, that was the closest, but again, doesn't quite hit it. And then just a pretty hard rejection down, right? Basically, of the 7 days, only one was a green candle, right? What is really good is, though it's small, this is a baby gap fill, okay? There's a little bit of noise in between it, but there's really not too much. If this thing can get over 394, excuse me, it's a pretty clean ride. There's only 2 green candles and the rest is just this red, right? So look, we've obviously gone down, a little bit of a curve forming, definitely still below these two, right? But again, if you can break 394, you'll obviously be above both, right? So something very much to consider right there, right? So again, 394 is a pretty good place to enter. But again, what happened, right? The last time we made the video, we were hoping we were going to see a bounce up. We'd already lost the 8, right? So I mean, it was pretty much bounce on the 20 or bad things would happen. And really bad things happen. The good thing is we didn't have to go all the way down to the 100 or the 50, right? It just kind of bounced, really, you can almost say on this line actually, right? So again, you can try to get in a little early if you're hoping the curve is good. Me, I always say wait till you're at least over the 8. Getting over this line will at least get you over both, and hopefully good confirmation too over the next 2 days, and then hopefully you make another ride to the 100, right? So overall, looking all right, trying to turn around, but okay, so let's look at this. The weekly, look, the weekly's not looking great, but it's not looking horrible at least. We're still over the 8, we're still over the 20. Definitely a little bit of a drop here. I definitely wish we were above it, right? Because this candle closed at 386. We definitely closed at 385. So we actually did completely worse than last week. That's something I do not like, okay? However, hey, I'm glad we're at least over the 8. We actually did test the 8, and we actually did get a golden cross, right? So it did kind of keep going up. Ideally, next week brings us back to right here, and again, it'll get us over that 394 number, right? We gotta get to at least right here, hopefully getting us closer to 50% this candle, and then obviously I'd love to retake it, don't get me wrong, right? But that is the goal on TLRY. Could be worse. Again, RSI is not too bad, a little bit of a curve forming, but I think it's all going to be about this 394 and really the green and the orange line there. ACB, coming to ACB, Aurora. Okay, not as pretty, right? Actually, a little, I'm zooming out to see, okay, no, there was no line up here, right? So really, again, same thing we saw with TLRY, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. This one was actually able to sneak in 2 greens instead of 1, right? But definitely a downtrend and then a little bit of a horizontal thing going. This one actually had the 50 as well as this 127 line, right? But I don't like this. Again, this is not good, right? You want the lower ones to cross up, not to cross down. You can see it is crossing down, right? And again, we like to trade with the 8, and when the 8 goes down, it's always a little worrisome. That said, look, overall, there are 4 lines right here. We're starting to move a little horizontal. Obviously, there was an attempt to break up, right? But seems like we might just kind of be moving horizontal with ACB. And look, I mean, this is pretty horizontal. This is pretty horizontal. So unless we get a nice bounce off of this, I imagine we're still going to just kind of go here. Just zooming out to see if there's anything spectacular. How far is the 200? I mean, the 200 is a pretty far ways away. So, hey, overall, a pretty good uptrend going. We've definitely lost the 8, which is not a good thing, right? But hopefully, like TLRY, it looks like the down might be horizontaling, and hey, maybe we get a curve. But again, ACB doesn't look fantastic by any means. Okay, just like Tilray on the weekly, we lost all of last week. In fact, we lost all of 2 weeks on this one. I don't like that. We also lost the 20 now 2 weeks in a row. Very not good again. Hey, I'm glad we're still over the 8, but again, I have what's now a curve down on the weekly, which is not a good thing, right? Would have been real nice because, again, the 50 would have been up here and that could have been a real good move, but unfortunately, it did not pan out that way. ACB, definitely better places than this one so far. MSOS. Ooh, MSOS actually looking pretty good here. So again, not as dramatic the last couple days trading. In fact, we got a pretty good bounce, right? Because again, this is a cluster of 2. I always say it's hard to it's hard to break above a cluster of 2, and it's obviously hard to break below it, right? So nice healthy bounce. I really like this actually. So we're now back over. We actually got 2-day confirmation. I would love for us to get back over 1228 so we kind of keep going with this climb, but overall, this is definitely a very nice chart. I wish this was a little better, but again, I'm okay with it. MACD actually looks all right too in you know, overall. Oh, how are we looking to compare to this guy? Oh, we're actually pretty close to that. I like that. Again, if we can get over this guy, we'll continue the trend. MSOS, I would even say looks better than Tilray. I think that's really easy to say, right? Definitely over the 8 for the last 2 days. MSOS has a bunch of good things going on. What did the weekly look like? Did I talk about the weekly? I don't think so. I don't remember this, but this is a good weekly. Again, what is this? This is a doji. Doji cannot be confirmation. However, this is good confirmation. There's a good chance there's a good weekly coming. And honestly, man, the next stop is kind of this $13 range. I do have a bunch of lines here. Maybe I clean this up. You know what? Let's do this. I don't do this too often, but let's drawings. Let's delete all the lines. Delete all. There's 10 of them. Boom, they're all gone. Okay, cool. Let's make some lines. I think this one's definitely going to be an important one right there. We just talked about this one right here. Oh, I like that we're over. Beautiful. And then I will put one right here. I like that. And then let's go to the daily. Let's see what's worth noting on the daily. You know, what does this one look like? It lines up with that. Oh, I gotta do that. Okay. Because I was gonna do this one anyways. I talked about breaking in literally 1228, right? And it hit this one. I wanted to come to this one. I actually really did. However, when I knew this one was over, I was coming to this. That's why I asked what this one was, and I love that it lined up. So I think this is a pretty good up. Do I have any downs? I don't have any downs. So let's at least make a couple lines down. We'll put that right there. And then one more. I'll just use this. Again, this is probably something important too, right? But I didn't want to put too many. Okay, good. This is a new line set up for MSOS. Again, MSOS looks pretty good. Hopefully it could get over 1228. But honestly, if it opens a penny over at 1212, this could be worth your money for sure. MSOS looking good. I love it. HEXO. HEXO. Where are we on 17? Damn. Oh, man. That is not good. Okay. So, right now, it actually seems like this might fall into all-time lows. I don't even have to zoom out that much. This line has been an amazing monster of a line, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 direct candles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then another one. Man, this line, there's so many wicks, so many candles. This 17-cent line did as best as it could. This is now in all-time lows, and this could get uglier. Okay, I've said that a bunch of times on this line. And look, a lot of the pudding happened over the last few days, right? Everyone saw that gnarly 7 days. The problem is HEXO lost an important cluster on the daily. From there, this was a bad line under, followed by a real extreme doji, followed by the confirmation of losing it. That's horrible. I'm real worried tomorrow, or Monday, sorry, brings this into 16 cents. Again, I do not have 4 decimals here. I have no idea how close we are to 17. Maybe it's 17,001. I have no idea. But Man, it seems like 16 cents and worse is coming here on Hexo. Real sad. Again, this line really did the best it could. And again, I'll zoom out here. We're at all-time lows. I know this for a fact. So, man, real devastating. Real devastating. And yeah, all of this just really came about right here. So, Hexo, not too much to talk about there. Real sad, though. Real sad. Okay, CGC. Again, a little bit of that TLRY 7-day drop. This one has a little bit more green in it. I'm glad we're at least over the 20, but again, you got to get over the 8, right? You know that. That's definitely rule number 1. Maybe one of the better RSIs. Is this a better RSI than MSOS? Oops. MSOS. Yeah, it is. It is the best RSI we've seen so far. Nonetheless, this does not matter as much as this up here, right? I do want us to get over the 8. I'd even say just this 380 line's a pretty good number right here because that'll get us over the 8 as well as that. And then again, what's really happening, we're sorry to zoom out so much. Come on, give me the, there it is. Sorry about that. We're hoping we make another attempt at this, right? We made a good run up. We definitely bounced, dropped a little bit lower than ideal, but hopefully we get a good rebound and go up. And again, that looks nice. Hopefully we go up. Oh, excuse me, a little hiccup. And again, we were in the high 70s around here, right? So hopefully we can come into this with a good little reset and break the 20. The 200. That's definitely the goal, right? CGC, not as good as MSO. Maybe a little bit better than TLRY. Did this lose all of last week? So this one closed at 367. We are at, again, just like TLRY, right? Just like TLRY. We literally close at 8.5, which was a penny worse than last week. I do not like that on the weekly. It's definitely not a good thing. This is a little bit of a doji too, right? So it'd be really bad if next week ends down here. Hopefully, like I said, we come up here a little closer to 50% of this one and well above 50% of this one, right? So CGC, I don't know why. This one gives me just a little bit of a worry. I do, again, like the RSI. Hopefully we do get over the 8, but yeah, CGC, I don't know why. I just got a weird feeling. And I would want to use my bigger stack of indicators to see what the others say. Ooh, Sandal. Check this bad boy out. 200s all the way up here. Okay, so what's happening, right? A really good ride of the 8 is actually what's happening, right? I remember talking about this horizontal ride with the 100, horizontal ride with the 100. For whatever reason, today was the day, and though it was only a little 3%er, that is a pretty monster candle. Look, if this thing can get over 273, that could be some really big movements. I think just like MSOS, we're going to go ahead and delete all our drawings. Let's go ahead and delete all 11. Why not? Screw it. And let's make some new ones. The first one I'm going to do, ooh, it looks like there's 2 I'm going to make. I want one right there. And then I do want one right there. Okay. Those are real close to each other. I understand that, but I actually do want both, I think. Let's go to the weekly and just see what the weekly wants me to think. Okay, yeah, because see, that pretty much lines up there and there. I'm okay with that. What was this one actually at? This one opened at, let's just take it up 1 cent to 80. Okay, because that'll put us there and there. I like that just a little bit more. Okay, lovely. This one, okay, I'm going to delete this one because it's actually not as important on the weekly. That one was on the weekly and the daily, so I do like that. I'll put a couple more lines just from the weekly to have it. So let's do the bottom of this guy. I think that's going to be a good one. That's actually all I'm going to do. I thought I was going to do more. Let me do a couple bottom ones because we don't want to go lower than that. But let's zoom out and see. Ooh, okay. And look, that's a really healthy, nice. And then that one right there kind of lines up with about equal distance. I like this. I think this is really good. I will actually put it right here because it looks like that's where it lined up on the 200. Okay, cool. That's a good stack up and down right there. So again, this does look really good. And honestly, there's a nice little gap between 820. Damn, 280. Dyslexic right there. It took me a second. I thought I said that to 323. So again, This looks good though. One last time. We were riding horizontal on the 100. Finally break it. We do want confirmation tomorrow because again, this is actually the first day over the 100 and the 8, right? So we do want a little bit more tomorrow. But Sandal actually looks like the best individual stock. Hey, this is a decent weekly. I'll take this, right? So look, this one opened up here, closed down here, but did better than last week. Okay, so let me say that one more time. It opened at 280. You see it on the box over there, and you see it, it's up here. It closed down at 260 down here. That's why it's red outlined. But again, this one was at 260. So this week to week was not bad. Okay, it actually did okay. The only reason it's red is because it dropped down, and that's why it's outlined versus filled in, okay? So again, I talked about that last week. I talked about it one more time this week. This I like because again, 50% of this guy's about right here. We're over that. I love it. We're over the 20. I love it. We fell under it last week. That was sad, but hey, we did reclaim it, and this whole time we're over the 8. I like Sandal. One last time. Very good. All right, CRON. Ooh, CRON. Not too shabby, my friend. Not too shabby. So again, look, this is a relatively low RSI. We're right on the door of breaking the 200. This was a good day of breaking both. That's beautiful confirmation. Again, it's only a small little 1% candle, but I love the candle shape, right? That's a good full candle. So interesting. If this can get over the 200, then we hope to get over this. And I mean, from there, it's just good, smooth sailing. And look, 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, hopefully 4. Generally by the 5th, it's almost good to go, right? So you can see this green one, this blue one took way more than 5. But hey, we're at least riding with it, and we've bounced off a couple of it, right? So couple things to be said there. But yeah, if we can get over the 200, this one's good to go. And today was a real nice confirmation on some lines, and a real nice golden cross actually, because again, you see the 8 goes up the excuse me, the 8 goes up the 100. It doesn't go down the 100 like we saw earlier. CRON, Sandal, and MSOS. That so far is our 3, and we only have 2 left. Green Lane Holdings. Ooh, all right, so we are coming to a pretty interesting place. Again, I'm still pretty adamant at breaking this. I could probably even lower it just a little bit. Oh, really? It's the same number. It doesn't. Again, you probably want a couple extra decimals, right? But you can make another line right here if you want at 54 cents. After 54 cents, it definitely would be a little safer, right? But I'm putting one right here. I feel like I should put one at 54 cents. Why not? One right there. And then look where we're at right now. So again, do I know the math that brings this thing down? No, not at all. However, we're now together with both of them. Are we over them? Okay, so we're over the 8 technically by a penny. We're on the 20. So on the 20 doesn't count, but over the 8 is technically good. Again, is that very good confirmation? By no means, no, right? We definitely need 2 days, really, right? Hopefully the 2 days will get us a little closer to the 51 and 54. But I like the fact that this is now down here. And hey, maybe we'll move horizontal with 2 lines. But it's a good thing that this has now come down, right? Pretty soon, this one will come down. Hopefully, we gap up and fly to it, right? That's the hope. But keep Green Lane on your tracker, right? There is big money to be made if the gap happens, right? So I don't think it's worth looking at the weekly. Yeah, look how far we are from the 8, right? Real far away. So definitely if any money comes, you bank that profit ASAP. But if the profit comes, make that money, right? That's how we play this. Oops, not C, G. This is the last one. This is Grow Generation. Okay, interesting. So what would happen, right? Real nice climb. I actually thought this was going to go under the 200. I do remember thinking that, right? What ended up happening is that got really horizontal on my 596 line. I know this is a relatively new ticker, so I am at, and yeah, look at that. It hits right here. bunch. I mean, yeah, it makes sense why this is a pretty big line, and there's some gap. Yeah. This is an important number, right? And that's why I was doing the last couple of resets, right? Because you don't know how old the lines are, and you want a fresher, important weekly. So it actually does make sense why this line is holding it. That said, look, we're under the 8, but we're over the 200. I would by no means say we've really dominated it. Look, we've broken over it, which is great. Generally, when you break an important one, you either lose it and then regain it, or you actually bounce off of it. And we haven't really bounced off of it yet. So I'm still a little iffy. This actually is a new stock to me, so I don't really know how it moves along, how it plays out with the moving averages, because we've seen some really are reactive a little more than others, right? But right now, this is an important line because it comes off, like I said, the top of this weekly from August, right? And it actually almost hits again right here. So definitely important lines. Actually makes sense. It hits right here. That's sorry. But nonetheless, where are we right now? I don't like how today ended. A bad 5% negative. We're well under what looks like all the days, right? Yeah. So Monday might be where we test the 200, and I do not like that RSI. It's also pretty high. It's not the highest. We've definitely had some still good to goes in the 70s, but this candle with that peaking down, I'm a little worried here. So I could see this coming to $5. I could see that. And look, if it comes to $5 and bounces up, that's a healthy move. Because again, this thing was at 350. So to go from 350 to 6, down to 5, back up to 6, beautiful movement. You know what I mean? So overall, one more time, SNDL and CRON are the two best individual stocks. MSOS is an ETF. And look, it's good that the ETF is doing well because that means the individual tickers as a combo are doing well, right? But those are probably the three. And then green lane, hey, if it hits, hit it and bank that profit. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're learning.